the trend of sequels to 30-year-old movies that really nobody asked for is still going strong. And now it's coming for what is probably Adam Sandler's biggest classic, Happy Gilmore. Anytime I walk into a legacy sequel, my expectations are low. I love Sandler. I even love most of the movies that people hate of his, but I still didn't really expect much. And yet, this one surprised even me. So let's talk about it. He's older now. He had a pretty long and like successful career being a golfer after winning the jacket in the first one. He won 6, I believe, tour jackets. And he had 5 kids with Julie Bowen's character, Virginia. One day on the golf course, he like fucking shanks a ball and fucking smacks her in the head and she dies. He goes into a deep depression. He swears to never play golf again. He starts drinking, and because of all his drinking and not working, he loses all his money. He loses his grandmother's house. His 4 sons have to move out and go get another place, and he moves into some like derelict like ghetto house with his daughter. She's a really talented ballerina, and her teacher is like, yo, you should send her to a real deal ballerina school. And he's like, oh, okay, what does that cost? And she's like, oh, $30,000 a month or something like that, something crazy.
75 a year.
75 grand a year. And so the only way that he could afford sending her to school and giving her the life that he knows she deserves and the life that he wants to give her is to, of course, get back into golfing. I thought this was really good. Like I thought it was a great follow-up to what is now one of the more like culturally significant comedies like ever released. I thought this was a very worthy follow-up to that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. It was a good sequel to Happy Gilmore as we know it. It was like fan service for people that saw the first movie.
Absolutely.
What it felt like. But it was done in a pretty good way. I feel like it has so many people in this movie.
Eminem being the jackass guy's son, that was fucking hilarious.
I feel like he just got a lot of people that he maybe just wanted to do a movie, like he wanted to say he was able to do a movie with them. Like Bad Bunny's a freaking like billionaire musician from Mexico, Eminem rapper,
or they're just friends of
and
his.
then there's randomly like Margaret.
I mean, he was
whatever her name is from
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah. Like it's just, and then Eric Andre, like he probably just like, here, like guys, this is the people I want to do a movie with. Let's just put them in this, whatever. I like that he got Eminem and Bad Bunny and stuff, and I like that they played roles that weren't like serious. Someone like Bad Bunny, who is like a billionaire musical artist, pretty much, and it's like he could put his ego aside and do something like be a caddy in this fucking movie, and it's fine. Like I think that's cool.
I think it really is just Sandler being like, hey, I'm making a movie. You guys want to be in this? Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because it's also a lot of old classic people, too, like Rob Schneider, who, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You got Robert Smigel, who's in a lot of his movies. John Lovitz, Nick Swartzen. Like, it's
anybody who's
friends.
Alive that was in an Adam Sandler movie got some sort of cameo.
Or
in
anybody
this
that's just in his orbit. Even though his movies get shit on, people generally agree that he's like a pretty chill dude, which is why I like him too. You never see him in like the fucking news. He never has any like controversy. He keeps his fucking mouth shut. Not to jump on that fucking bandwagon of like celebrities shouldn't like speak their minds or opinions,
platform themselves.
But he just doesn't, because he's just like whatever. He's just like living his life. He seems like a normal dude. He's always out in like sweatpants. He plays basketball in public parks. Like he's just a normal dude. He never got infected by like Hollywood, really.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like liberal Hollywood or anything. He's just not part of that life.
I thought it was great. This is one where you just shut off your brain and you enjoy what you're watching, because there's so much fun in this. And it's so many funny parts, like him, like
everything, dude. Everything. Even the golf ball that he. It's like, what? There's no way.
Then, John Daly, like memeing himself, because John Daly as like a public drunk guy who's passed out and pissed himself at places. Like he has places where he can just crash, and like that's where he's like, no, you don't got to go anywhere. You can stay here. Like there's just so much to laugh at in this movie that it was a welcome change of pace, I guess. It was just very lighthearted. You didn't have to have a plot. Like the golf thing was ridiculous, and the villain, like, oh, you just have halitosis and bad breath, but it's actually your energy drink. That's just like on the nose, funny, ridiculous, stupid stuff that it doesn't matter, and you can just like, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is Adam Sandler at his finest.
His recent movies are more in line with like him as an adult and like an older man now. And that's fine. That's totally cool. This is one of the movies that, like his recent stuff, that felt really in line with like his older stuff. The stuff that made him famous, like Happy Gilmore.
Well, yeah.
And Billy Madison.
Edgy slapstick humor that like where he would push because he was younger and he liked to push the envelope a little bit more. The older he got and with his when he had a family and I say Eddie Murphy fell to the same fate, like making a little bit more family friendly or something that everybody can enjoy instead of like, you probably shouldn't let your kids watch this. Like, I can understand that arc as people grow into becoming older as somebody who is older. So I get that, but he still paid homage to the tradition that was Happy Gilmore. And I think he did it really well.
Like it had the same style of jokes and like random funny shit that's just for no reason. Like there's a moment during the montage, the training montage, where like you see John Daly just like squirting the hand sanitizer into his hand and they don't make a thing about it. It's just off on the side. If you notice it, you notice it. And that's what's always been funny about Adam Sandler movies. If I didn't know any better, I think I would have said like, oh, this was definitely made in the 90s. Like if it didn't look like it was, you know, like visually, it just had that feel to it that like his old school stuff.
Or the Steve Buscemi scene that meant nothing but was still hilarious. Like
his son,
hey dude, why are you kicking my car? This is a family thing we're doing.
His son is like a WWE guy. I can't remember his name. The oldest son who kept like roid raging when he was like, oh fucking like that was hilarious. Like so I don't know. It just I thought it was great. Really, honestly, like I thought it was great. It's everything I would have wanted out of a Happy Gilmore sequel, and it's everything I would have expected. I don't know what I would have expected other than this.
I also love that him and Shooter kind of made amends in the movie and they were working together.
That was great.
Against each other. That was awesome.
Because the beef in the first one was like so fucking ridiculous because it's a ridiculous premise that this kind of made fun of that and was like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, why would these two be fighting? It's so stupid. and in the beginning, it's framing Shooter as like this like he's spent his years in psychiatric detention because he's like lost his mind and stuff, but really he's just like, whatever, we're over it. Like I thought that was funny as fuck.
No, it was fitting because Shooter was in the first movie in his mind trying to preserve golf, but then when the real threat to golf came along, they were able to get together.
That's a great point. I didn't even catch that point. That's a great point. I actually really found this movie very heartwarming. Like at the end of the day, all the funny stuff aside, all like the jokes and the gags, it was a really sweet like homage to, like you said, like people who are no longer alive. And then basically the whole story being about like, you know, this family and what, you know, whatever, at the end when he actually like visualized his family as kids. Like I don't have kids, but that really like that choked me up a little bit. It was like a sweet thing. And that's good, and that's like always the core of Adam Sandler movies. No matter how ridiculous they are, no matter how like stupid and funny they are, they always have this like sweet, charming, heartwarming center to them. And he's just the GOAT.
Yep.
I'm like, I am an Adam Sandler fanatic. I'm a fanboy. Like it is what it is.
He's great. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Bad Bunny because I know the name and I know he's very famous, but I don't know what he is or who he looks like. But it actually is funny because he was my favorite part of the whole movie and I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
When I tell you I cried laughing at that first scene where Adam Sandler was like kind of opening up to him and he's like, man, I don't know if I could do this. I'm real scared. Like these guys are so much better than me. He goes, you need a water refill, maybe some breadsticks. I was fucking dying. I rewound it like 45 times. All around, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I was expecting. I thought it was just going to be like, kind of like, all right, whatever. That was cool. We watched it. It exists now. But I liked it way more than I thought I was going to.
Me too. Yeah.
And
pleasantly surprised.
And you know, I said this, maybe this is like hyperbole, but I don't know if you guys remember, but like months back I had watched Ricky Stenicki, that movie with John Cena, and it was really funny and it was made by one of the Farley brothers and it reminded me of like that early 2000s like mid to late 90s comedy that we just don't get anymore. It's just comedy has changed. It's like much more in line with like the Seth Rogen type of comedy. It's a little bit more raunchy and like it's more focused on like sex jokes and like drug jokes and stuff like that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Seth Rogen. I think those movies are hilarious. But that specific like slapstick, like ridiculous, beyond the realm of like reality comedy that existed in this time period that we don't get anymore, I really miss it. And this felt like a return to that. And I wrote in my notes, like, comedy needed old Sandler like the world needed Superman. Like this felt like going to see an older band sort of play all their hits. Like when you go see like an older band or something and they just like, they run through the songs that you know they're going to play.
But it was even more matured than like
the
raunchier Sandler stuff. Like even he himself is like, oh, my happy place isn't what it was. I don't drink anymore, you know.
Because
so
think
it's
about
like,
underwear that fits and doesn't have skid marks in it or whatever.
Think about like the audience that he's making the movie for, right? Happy Gilmore came out in 1996. I was 10 when Happy Gilmore came out. So I didn't even see it until I was older. And by that point, that's not like, it's still a movie that I could say I grew up with because I watched it like when I was younger. I was a teenager. But think about people who were, you know, in their,
I was
like
16.
Okay, so you're the perfect example. He's making movies for people who are, getting into like middle age, becoming dads or are already dads and like having families. That's what this movie was for. That's what this movie's about. About a dad who like is failing his family and needs to like step up and like he's grieving the loss of his wife and like. So I don't know. I mean, how could I call a movie like this stupid? He knows who he's making this movie for. He made this movie for people.
Well, know your audience. That's the secret.
Right, exactly. And he made this movie for people that like grew up with Happy Gilmore, the first one. And that's awesome. The movie was exactly what it needed to be. That's it. It was a sequel to Happy Gilmore, exactly what you'd expect it to be, and exactly what it should have been. And that's that. And that's okay. I get it. There are times where cheap like nostalgia grabs or fan service and stuff sucks, but this wasn't one of those times at all. It was funny and it worked. And had no problem with it. 6.3 on IMDb. Not too great. I would bump that up. I would give this an 8. This is an 8 for me.
It's an 8 for me too.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. Sure.
Let's go. 8's across the board. Easy, baby. The world we live in is just god awful right now. And like, there's no sign of it easing up. And like, you get little bits and pieces of things like this that give you a little bit of happiness and joy. I'm all for it. So great movie. Check it out if you haven't done so. Don't listen to anybody. If you have seen it, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about it.